guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a top 10. This is going round at the moment with different sort of YouTube channels doing, and they're doing their top 10 movies of the 21st century. So like the first 25 years, as we move into the 26th year this year, we're a quarter way through this century already. So they've been looking at what are their favourite films since 2000 to now. So this is my top 10 favourite movies of this first quarter of the century, if you like, for the 21st century. Obviously, these are not going to be my favourites out of all the 21st century because we've still got 75 years to go, which I know I'm not going to see all that. But hey, but what I have seen, these are my top 10 so far. So I thought we'd have a little look at this today. They've been sort of tagging each other into it, but none of these channels, I don't think they even like me. They don't tag me or anything into their channels or nothing. So I've not been tagged or anything. So this is a non-tag one, but this is just me giving my personal sort of favourite top 10 horror movies of the 20, or not actually horror movies, because there's so many that I believe are not horror. But the majority are, because it's my go-to, isn't it? So these are my top 10 favourite films so far in the 21st century. So at number 10, I'm cheating already. I've got a whole batch of movies, but they all fall within this century because the first one was made in 2007, and I'm going with the Paranormal Activity. Mostly the first one because it was like groundbreaking for its time and it was absolutely scary. Really cool film, and it went on to make a whole set of sequel films. I liked the first three a lot, but I also liked the marked ones, and I liked Next of Kin. I thought that was really, really cool. I like all of them, to be honest. I think they're really cool. So I'm a bit cheating there, putting all these in at number 10, because I couldn't choose just one. But if I had to choose just one, I will have to probably go with the original. Just because it was groundbreaking. Not necessarily the best in the franchise, but it's definitely the most groundbreaking one, because all the rest afterwards sort of followed the storyline in a very strange but incredible clever way, just because the franchise all connected apart from the very, very last film, which doesn't really connect to any of them. But I still like that one. Which is really, really cool. And this is a great set. I did try to review these on my channel, but all the videos got blocked. There we go. But yeah, number 10 is my favourite movies of the 21st century, Paranormal Activity. Move that away because it's too big. We're staying with P for number 9. This is a fantastic movie. Again, from another franchise, but this one came out in 2012, I believe. I want to say it could be earlier than that, but I think it's 2012. But it's Ridley Scott's Prometheus. I absolutely adore this film, not just because my favourite actor stars in it, Sean Harris, but it's just a fantastic direction for the franchise, because this was more sort of kind of a prequel to Alien, and it shows you the origins of the Alien sort of story. As you know, Alien is my favourite film of all time, so obviously it can't be in here because that was 1979. But yeah, this was a great addition. A really cool film. I must review this. I must come back and do this on my channel. It's been a while since I've seen it. It's a great story about these scientists sort of and they discover this pattern, and they go off to space to find the heritage of this drawing that they found in this cave, which I believe is in Scotland. And they go off and they find this planet, and this is where we see where they had the sort of makers were there. It's a really cool film, and then it sort of ends with a kind of beginning of the first sort of species of the Xenomorphs. I need to Cenobites in. Wrong film, Joff. Yeah, the Xenomorphs. So it's really, really cool. A fantastic film, really clever, beautifully shot, well crafted movie. Very long, nearly 2.5 hours long, but it's fantastic. So Prometheus is my ninth favourite film so far of the 21st century. Number 8 is a British horror film. Um, never really took off anywhere, but really, really cool film, and it's called The Ritual. It's only had a DVD release here in the UK. I don't know if it's had a Blu-ray release anywhere. I would like to get it on Blu-ray. Really cool British horror film about a group of men that go on a hiking holiday, I believe into Sweden, where they're planned to go already, but one of their friends is killed before this in a sort of like robbery, and they're taking his ashes there. Then they get lost and they trek across this wood, which seems to be inhabitants there are like a kind of witchcraft cult that are living within this woods that celebrate and worship this creature that lives within the woods. It's a really, really cool film, amazing film. I just wish I wish Second Sight would pick this up. I really, really do. Such a cool film. Unfortunately, because it's made by 20th Century Fox, I don't think anyone's going to pick it up. I doubt this will ever see a Blu-ray release here in the UK, which is it's shocking. But yeah, amazing film. So my 8th favourite film of the 21st century is The Ritual. Fantastic. Number 7 is a war film, not a horror film, and I believe it was produced and made by Netflix. Just because obviously they financed it, and it is the remake of All Quiet on the Western Front. This is an incredible story based on a true story. This is a remake of the famous old film, the black and white film about the German soldiers fighting in the trenches in World War One. Really cool, really disturbing and devastating and sad, and historical, kind of quite accurate, I think, of this amazing story. Really, really cool. And we do follow this main soldier here on the front, and it's just such a real kind of downbeat war film. There's nothing glamorous about war. So to me, it is a sort of horror film, because anything about war really is horror, isn't it? Really, if you think about it. So yes, number 8 of my favourite movies of this 21st century is All Quiet on the Western Front remake. A remake in my top 10. Wow. There is another one. But first we get to number 6, my favourite films of the 21st century. And I believe this one came out 2008. And it is a Swedish film, and it's called Let the Right One In, which is a kind of horror love story based around this female vampire called Ely, and she moves into this new district with her kind of protege that helps her to get her blood for her and this sort of stuff, because she can't go out to do it. She moves there and she meets a young lad that lives next to her apartment, and they become friends, and a sort of relationship kind of forms between them. It's a sort of forbidden love that can never sort of happen, but kind of still does. It's an amazing film. It tackles a lot of things like bullying, friendship, loneliness, and finding that ultimate friend or love, if you like. It's a fantastic film, incredibly well shot, an incredible soundtrack, an amazing film. So my 6th favourite film of the 21st century is Let the Right One In. So we're down to my top 5. Number 5 is a kind of a horror film, but it's more just like a revenge film by, I'm sure it's directed by Shane Meadows, and it's Dead Man's Shoes. Now, this came out in 2004, so quite near the beginning the century, and it's a really, really cool film about the guy comes back from the army. He's been a soldier. He has a brother who has learning difficulties, and when he's been away, the local drug dealers and drug addicts have been picking on his brother and bullying him and getting him to do sort of crazy stuff, and he ends up, I believe, dying. And his brother's come home to revenge his younger brother. It plays out like a revenge sort of slasher film. So I do want to class it as a horror film. Now, again, this is the only sort of release we've had here in the UK, and this is way back. This is released by what are they called? Is it Optimum, something like that, and we've not had another release since. But Second Sight have picked it up. They are not going to. I do believe they're not going to actually be releasing a 4K release of it because they can't get the right transfer to do that. But they are going to be releasing a Blu-ray release of this film, hopefully this year. They did say 2020, maybe the end of 2025, but it didn't appear. So hopefully it's going to come this year. I might drop Second Sight an email and see if we have any updates on what's happening with Dead Man's Shoes. But yeah, it's an incredible film if you've not seen it. A great British horror revenge sort of slasher film. Really cool. Dead Man's Shoes. Highly recommend it if you've not seen it. Number 4 is from one of my favourite directors, Robert Eggers, and it is the film with William Dafoe, and it is The Lighthouse. Wow, what an incredible film. This film tackles cabin fever. It tackles dealing with your own issues and dealing with someone else's issues being piled up on you, because there's only 2 characters in the film, and they are working on this lighthouse. It's their shift. I think they come there and spend like 3 or 4 months there, and then they go back to their families for a couple of months, and then they come back again. It's like a shift change, and these 2 are there, and signs of insanity are creeping in, and there seems to be something kept a secret up in the actual light area, which William Dafoe doesn't want the other actor, Robert Pattinson, which I believe is from I believe he's in one of the Batman films, does not want him to know about, and all these sort of crazy sort of things going on, and in a friendship bonds and in a friendship breaks. It's an incredible horror film. Really, really cool. Deals with a lot of like issues. To me, I class this as a folk horror because it's based in like a sort of old folk sort of lighthouse sort of area, and it's absolutely incredible. It's an amazing film. So my 4th favourite film of the 21st century is The Lighthouse. Really cool. So number 3, we're back to another British film, and it's another folk horror released by BFI, starring Maffoyd Clark and Matt Smith, and it's Starve Acre. This came out of only 2024. Really cool film. It's a very bleak film based in Yorkshire, based in the 1970s, I believe, or could be late 60s or the early 70s, about a bereavement in a family, and the couple sort of finding sort of homage in something else, and there's this tree root that is grown in their garden, which was used centuries ago for executions. And all this sort of story comes up behind this tree, that roots that are underneath that Matt Smith starts to dig out and becomes obsessed with. It's a really cool film. I absolutely love this film. Great release from BFI. I have reviewed it on my channel. So my 3rd favourite film of the 21st century is Starve Acre. So we're down to the top 2, and this was no real difficulty really. Number 2 is Robert Eggers' version of Nosferatu. Yes, another remake, but it's an absolute masterpiece with an absolute incredible cast. We have Ralph Ensign in this film. We have Johnny Depp's daughter, I think, is it Lily Rose? She's in this. William Dafoe's in there. Emma Corrin, Bill Skarsgård plays as Nosferatu. It's such a great cast with an amazing film and wonderfully, beautifully shot. And I believe this, I don't know if this was again another Netflix produced, like they put the money forward for it. I'm not sure. It may well be because it first turned up on Netflix, I believe. Or did it? Or am I just, no, that's just Frankenstein, isn't it? Don't listen to me, I talk shit. But yeah, Nosferatu, which came out here in the UK 2025, and it was my favourite film of last year. To me, it's a masterpiece. Absolutely incredible film, well acted, awesome cast, beautifully, stunningly shot, and it's how horror films should be made. So, my second favourite movie of the 21st century is Nosferatu. So, my favourite one, we're going back to 2015 with Robert Eggers' The Witch. I could not put this in because it's apart from, you know, I do class Alien as my favourite horror film, but in fact that's probably just my favourite film of all time. But if you're getting down to broad horror, this is my favourite horror film of all time, The Witch, by Robert Eggers, based in New England in America in the sort of like I think the 1600s or 1700s, and we see, and it stars Ralph Ineson again, and him and his family have been shunned by the village for some kind of theft, I believe, and they then have to leave the village, and they try to start out on their own. They try to start up this farm in this area, but unfortunately, it's this land that they decided to set up home on is cursed because a witch lives on this land, and she has placed a curse on it. So everything they do to try and make a living just doesn't work. They can't grow crops. They can't catch food. We have a kidnapping. We have a daughter being blamed for witchcraft. We have a young lad that gets enticed by the witch. And we have Ralph trying to keep his family and hold things together. It's an incredible, very bleak film, but it is just a masterpiece of cinema. It's just incredible. Absolutely wonderful, amazing film. So my favourite film of the 21st century so far is Robert Eggers' The Witch. So there you are, that is my top 10. I've done this on my own back because I said it's been going around some of the channels that I follow, Sammy G's World of Cinema, Skin Crawler and all this. They've all done it, but no one's actually bothered to tag me in it, which is fine. But I thought, well, I'm going to put mine up because we are quarter way through a year. So it's a good chance for me to share my top 10 favourite movies of the 21st century. Massive shout out to my lad. Cheers, guys.